Hello everyone! I decided to do some tactical analysis on this game because I found it quite interesting. So let's start. I hope Kingscrusher allows me to do this. So this is the opening Vienna game, and this is all mainline. Bishop d3 though is not very common. In tournament games, which there aren't many of, I found f5 and knight c5 played in databases. So here bishop f5 was played, and I don't really like this move because it doesn't achieve anything. For example, it is already clear that the knight will have to exchange itself for the knight on c3. Now queen d2 is good and already forces the exchange, which happens, and now I would suggest to exchange bishops as well. When after c takes, the white has a good position. Instead black plays bishop e6, which isn't very good because of course knight d4 is good. And now the engine would suggest to play queen d7 when castles, knight c6, and this position has a good advantage for white. Now why does the engine suggest queen d7? In the real game castles was played, so here knight d4, castles. Here Kingscrusher castled as well. We will look at that later. However, he missed a very nice tactical shot, which starts with the exchange on e6 and then queen h5, which threatens mate in 2, as you see with the arrows. First the yellow moves and then the red ones. That's kind of some sort of system in order not to exaggerate with all the lines that I have to show here. So let's look at some defenses. The computer suggests rook f5 is the best move, where of course we just take it and we're the exchange and the pawn up. That's a computer defense, that's not the thing we want to see. So let's look at g6 first. Here comes the crushing bishop takes g6, and now after h takes g6, queen takes g6, king h8 is forced. Now queen h5 check, and wherever the king goes, our next move is going to be bishop h6. If the king goes to g7, bishop h6 wins the rook on the spot, because the king can't defend it on g8. It will get mated in that case. So now king g8 is played, and after bishop h6, black is completely lost. For example, the computer is suggesting in this position bishop h4 check, where after g3 bishop f6 would be played, and as you see, that's not very nice for black. Another move, for example, would be rook to f7, where we have queen check, and after king h8 we just take the rook. So terrible, as you see. Any other move gets mated on the spot. And now well, there was nothing else to do here, so black is lost. Now instead of h takes bishop, for example, black can try to complicate the matters. Either play rook f7 there, but that of course just gets taken and very bad, avoids mate though. And bishop h4 check, which is after g3, and now queen e7, and we take it, and now black can take our bishop because after taking rook g1 is completely crushing. because black can't really defend g6, which is attacked twice, and will be completely murdered in that line afterwards. So did we look at everything? If I have missed anything, please tell me in the comments. I think that's good for g6, which obviously is losing. Let's look at queen h5, now h6. Now the other bishop gets sacrificed, and the bishop cannot be taken because black would be mated immediately in 2 moves. So what other moves could we suggest here? The engine suggests rook f5 again, which we just could take or play anything else as well. Doesn't really matter. That's obviously very easily winning. So let's look at anything else that we could suggest. For example, I have here rook f7, which seems to defend g7, sorry. But now comes queen g6, and that even threatens mate in 2 moves again. So apart from the recurring move bishop to h4 check, which would be met with g3, there is not a lot else to do. And well, black is lost here as well, clearly lost. So well, the engine gives, for example, king f8, where after rook f1, well, let's look at that actually. King f8, now comes rook f1, and apart from the check again, the engine suggests bishop f6, which rook takes is winning. Basically, it's just game over. Now we looked at h6. There is a check again. Well, that's basically the 4 main options for black here. And as you see, black is lost here. Now let's look at the other variations of the game. After castles instead of knight takes, black played c5. Well, c5 is a move, and after this exchange, now bishop d2 is quite passive and as well giving away all the advantage to black, because c4 does trap the bishop, and the bishop cannot be sacrificed with sufficient compensation. For example, in this position, after f takes, queen g4 is a good move, better than the game. And after the rook gets exchanged and bishop takes, white has a good position. Let's not look at that though, because it will take too long. After the bishop is trapped here, sacrificing it is not the best move still, but after it is sacrificed, now this check here, king g8 is good, and now the rook exchange. In this position, black played bishop takes f8. When I watched the game, I actually thought as well as black should have thought in this position, that queen takes is very bad. It's actually playable. But well, bishop takes was played, and after rook f1, queen d2 is still fine. Now this is still fine for black. This is also still fine for black. I would prefer c6, so does the engine. Now after this move here and the check, rook f8 should be played, which would keep the advantage for black. However, black terribly blunders with bishop f8 and just gets mated here. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I really think this was quite insightful from a tactical point of view, as well as from quite some opening.